All right, good morning all. Welcome to the Tourism Department meeting, March 21st. I need a motion to approve the minutes of February 25th Tourism Committee meeting. Mr. Stroud, Mr. Dickinson. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We have no business under the action agenda, and I'm just going to turn it right over to Joanne and give us the presentation that we've been waiting for a while. Thank you. Go ahead, Joe.
Good morning. The two items on your agenda today are relative to our upcoming summer campaign. And as per the terms of the contract, Peter and I have sat down with the representatives from Workshop. We've reviewed the previous year's results and looked ahead at plans for the 2022 summer campaign. Those of you who are on the committee before recall that they were here during the winter to present for the winter campaign. They'll do that now for the summer campaign. We do have a visual that we can share with you on screen, and we did make copies if anyone needs a paper copy. I think we distributed some, but there are a few extra of the paper copies. So there are representatives with us today from Workshop to present the media buy for the upcoming summer 2022 media campaign. So let's see, Allie, Carolyn, and Tim are with us today. And they'll come up to the podium.
We're gonna pull up. I'm just waiting for
Our summer media buy.
Thank you.
All right, you're on.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Joanne, thank you for the introduction. My name is Carolyn Bordenaro. I'm the account executive with Workshop. Have with me Ellie Withy, our paid media manager, and Tim, the president of Workshop. We're going to be going through the summer 2022 media campaign and strategy with you all. To start off our agenda today, we're going to share with you the 2021 performance, just some highlights there. We will also go through the current campaign, which is the tail end of the winter 2021-2022 season. And then we will go into the summer 2022 themes to share with you, our tactics, and the budget plan. We will talk a little bit about Canadian marketing and our next steps as well. So to start off, we wanted to share with you some of the highlights from the 2021 performance. This is for the full year from January through December. We ran a television and connected TV for the full 3 seasons. Some highlights here. We had 8,847 traditional TV spots across 5 markets during all 3 seasons, and had over 7 million impressions from connected TV. For paid social, over 29 million impressions, 679,000 clicks, and a click-through rate of 2.29%, which is 154% above our benchmark goals.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
If I might interrupt for just a quick question.
Sure.
When I see the 154% above benchmark, can you explain what the benchmark is?
Yes, so For paid social, there are industry standard benchmarks just in general, and then as well as for the travel and hospitality industry. That benchmark is 0.90%.
I'm just curious what markets are included in the benchmark,
It's all markets on Facebook.
all markets.
Yeah, all
It's not
within the
hard-
travel and tourism sector.
Would it be difficult for us to compare some of the markets that we feel we compete against?
We could do that. We just need insight to their information, which we don't necessarily always have.
So it's tough to get the background. What you're saying.
I'm curious, what are you thinking as the markets that you compete
Well,
against?
there's certain markets, there's the
like other
Finger Lakes,
counties?
There's, maybe where you guys are up there in the Lake Placid area. There's Hershey, PA. I'm sure there's others that others can help me identify what those competing markets are. But it'd be great to see how we're doing with our buys versus what they're getting in their other regions also. And have a benchmark that way. To me, that would mean more to me than comparing against the whole hospitality industry.
So again, that these questions come up often, and I know we've kind of exchanged a little bit last time, right? It's hard to get that data, much as your data might not be shared, but like you say, Essex County, right? Essex County, that Roost, if I go into Roost and say, are you going to share your paid media performance and or your TV performance? That answer is typically no, right? Because they're competing against you. You're competing against them. So it is a little bit of an awkward spot to get that benchmark. So what we do revert to is the standards on a national level when we're buying in those markets. So again, that comparison is there against a national standard, right? In the hospitality as you drill down. So that is the benchmark that everyone knows and sees. So that's what we try to present against. I don't know how else, if I was to call into Hershey, Pennsylvania and ask for their data, I don't know how willing they would be. So it's hard for me to help you to define that. In fairness.
No, that's very fair. I'm just trying to see if we can get more pointed data.
Yeah,
But
if I have an opportunity, I'll ask. No, and I will, and I, in honesty, and I might just, hey, what are you benchmarking against? And would you be willing to share your benchmark? No promises, no, it is just a hard thing to get to.
is there a reason why we wouldn't want to share our benchmark?
Well, that would be up to you.
I'll take it offline. We'll figure it
Yeah,
out. Thank you.
and so just to that comment, we can't share that.
I
Right?
understand.
Okay.
All right, so still talking through our 2021 performance here, the native advertising, over 7 million impressions, click-through rate of 0.27%. The pre-roll video had 800,000 impressions, over 600,000 completions, and a completion rate of 0.8%. The website retargeting received over 4 million impressions, 4,000 clicks, a click-through rate of 0.11%. And the video event retargeting received over 1 million impressions, almost 2 million there, 2,337 clicks, a click-through rate of 0.12%. And the Google ads had 3 million impressions, 269,000 clicks, and a click-through rate of 8.96%, which is 91% above the benchmark.
Yes, Dennis.
I hesitate to display my ignorance, but I've done it before. What is an impression and a click?
So with these tactics here, an impression would be the number of times an ad was shown. So if you see an ad, that's one impression. So that's the number of times it's been shown to an audience. And this is all digital for the most part. And then a click is the number of times that somebody physically clicked on the ad and then went to the website.
So you ran it 30 million times paid social, you ran 30 million times and you got 700,000 clicks.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
One more, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Do we have benchmarks for some of these other CTRs that aren't identified here?
Yes, so for pre-roll, we look at the completion rate there, and anything above 75%, since we're at 80%. And then for retargeting, that is a bit more brand awareness. So it's just trying to get impressions back out there.
So there's no benchmark for that retargeting?
It's right around 0.1, it's a range, 0.10 to 0.15. So we fall right in that range.
So what is retargeting?
So retargeting is re-exposing an audience to the same ad. So for example, if somebody clicked on a paid social ad and visited your website, we can then retarget them with another ad. So we're serving ads to previous website visitors. Another tactic we used that was new in summer 2021 was serving retargeting ads to users who had completed the pre-roll video. So an audience had already been fully exposed to a 15-30-second video, completed it, didn't skip it, and then reserving them retargeting ad later on.
Thank you.
Gina?
Do you have an average of your paid social with what the actual cost per click is?
I can get that number for you.
And the second question is with regard to the Google ads. So for instance, are you, because I know the ads come up even right now, we're at meetlakegeorge.com, which is basically an extension. And the Visit Lake George ad comes up. So you've got us in there and you're trying to buy us, but we're using all the same money. So I just wonder with the Google ads, are we buying those things that are already in market, or are we buying something when somebody Googles, getaways in the Northeast versus what's already here?
Yes, so we have and we'll show it in our summer 22 plan. We have a variety of different strategies there. So yes, some of them are branded because we want to show up first when people are searching for our brand. But a lot of them are a lot more top funnel, where it's like searching places to hike in the Northeast or places to visit in the Northeast that are a lot more what we call top funnel searches. They don't have necessarily a specific location or intent, but they're just trying to gather information. So we can try and use a combination of top, middle, and bottom funnel campaign strategies, as well as keywords that we're bidding on for that.
All right, go ahead. No other questions, I don't see.
We can move forward.
So here we are with our current winter campaign performance. This is January through March 17th. So we're almost all the way through the campaign here. So with paid social, we've served over 9.2 million impressions with 224,000 clicks and a click-through rate of 2.44%. That's 171% above the benchmark. Our top performing themes there were ice bars, ice castles, indoor activities, and events. For native advertising, we had over 2.5 million impressions with 13,000 clicks and a CTR of 0.51%, 70% above the benchmark. For retargeting, we had 1.6 million impressions, 3,900 clicks, click-through rate of 0.24%, 60% above our benchmark. Google Ads, 370,000 impressions, 79,000 clicks, and a click-through rate of 21.5%. For YouTube, we had a variety of different ads running as well this year. Those served, or during this past winter, those served over 30,000 impressions, 11,000 interactions, and an interaction rate of 37.366%. And the interactions there are a combination of views and engagements, and that's how we measure it on a standard through Google. Here's a snapshot of some of our top ads that we had running this winter. The top For the left two are native advertising ads. So those can appear dynamically through different search results on your phone or on your desktop. Generally, an example I like to use is if you're on a news website, they often pop up on the side or the bottom as something you might be interested or read more like this. And every once in a while you see one that says sponsored. That is what our native advertisements are. And then the two to the right are paid social ads. We have the ice bars and the ice castles that were our top two most successful ads by the number of clicks this year. So looking to summer 2022. Our areas of focus this year are going to be outdoor summer recreation. So things like hiking, camping, boating, things on the water such as beaches, rafting. We have biking, air adventures. Top attractions such as the dinner cruises, shopping and factory outlets, dining, museums and history, craft beverages, couples activities, free activities, as well as arts and theaters. For family activities, summer's our big family audience. So focusing on Great Escape, mini golf, drive-ins, arcades, ice cream, anything that is we consider a nice family activity. A lot of events happening this summer: fireworks, 4th of July, Americade, Food and Wine Festival, Summer Concert Series, Arts and Crafts Festival, Music Festival, and the Barbecue Festival. And then, of course, lodging and camping for the overnight stays when traveling to Warren County. So you've seen these as general trends in the travel industry, not just in Warren County, but as well in search trends in more local areas. So this is the reasoning behind these themes that we are focusing on. And of course, aligns with what Warren County has to offer.
So last year we had a lot of rain in July. Is there anything that you can be nimble on that says, you know, if automatically, if there's over a 70% chance of rain, but all of a sudden it's all about indoor activities, like rainy day activities? Is there any nimble, you know, opportunity for that?
Absolutely. We can change things as needed. Absolutely. With a rainy summer, we saw that a lot, and we kind of change strategies with at any time, especially with traditional, it's a little bit hard, but with anything digital, we can turn things off, restart things, we can shift what we're focusing on. We are absolutely very flexible and can adjust to seasonal weather or whatever it is. We focused in on a lot of that this winter, depending on what we had for snow. That was we were in constant communication, what we were looking at there.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if digitally, if there was like some trigger that, you know, if ever, if the weather report is this, it just, I don't know. It's just come up. We see it at our, what we're doing at the Village Information Center, and our information centers to be ready with that based on the weather report. So, and we did learn a lot this last summer and this winter.
Yes.
So, okay, thanks.
Great. So we'll move into the tactics that we're going to be focusing on. So we're going to keep our traditional tactic of television in our primary markets, New York City, Albany, Syracuse, Utica. And then leading up to the 4th of July, we're going to focus in a little bit more on the further markets as well, but not include them later in the summer since they are more in advance planners, which would be Hartford, New Haven, and Boston. It's a very brand awareness tactic, and the lion's share of the budget is utilized during that pre-4th of July flight. Connected TV is our TV ads on any streaming device. So we've seen a big rise in streaming devices and platforms over the past several years, especially when COVID hit. We now have more users of connected TV than we do television, but a combination of both is our most successful strategy at the moment. So some of these platforms include Hulu, Disney+, Roku, Fubo, Sling, Pluto, Samsung, LG, and so many more. There's a lot of them out there now, but we're able to hit all of them. Pre-roll video is a video that plays directly before a featured video on mobile or desktop devices. An example of this is if you're looking at a YouTube ad, almost every single time there's some sort of video that plays first. So that is the pre-roll video. Paid social is sponsored advertising on social networks by targeting a very specific audience. We've been very successful with these and honing in on why we have those different themes and able to really fine tune who that audience is to make sure we're reaching the most interested audience for each theme that we're presenting. Move on to the next one. So then we have native advertising, as I just explained. A strong example that I always like to think of is the suggested for you or read more like this. It's a sponsored post that fits dynamically into the platform that it is served on. We perform best with these as a blog type landing page. So we've selected, as you'll see in a couple slides, several blogs to feature for this native advertising. The audience is usually a bit more involved in a reading mindset, and we're able to hit them with a little bit more information through the blog. Retargeting, so a form of targeted advertising that retargets users that have previously engaged with the brand. So for this upcoming summer campaign, we will target recent website visitors, so with users who have been to the website within the past 30 days, as well as users who have completed that pre-roll video. Lastly, we'll have Google Ads, or online advertising, where marketers bid to display video, shopping, and search/text ads through an audience and keywords. We will be doing search and text ads for this campaign, and we use this through a combination of top, middle, and bottom funnel campaigns, ad groups, and keywords. So now we have the media plan, and can we pull up the other digital version because it's very small on this slide. I won't make everyone squint. Did anyone bring binoculars?
And everyone should have their print version as well. And I did email it to the committee members that could not be here today. There was a second document in that email that I sent you that was a little bit larger.
Mr. Chairman, while we have a break, if you don't mind.
Yep.
Prior we talked about sharing information. This is on YouTube, so we've just shared all our information. Should we be taking some of this offline if it's proprietary information?
Good question.
I think it would be a good idea. I mean, not to hide, but I mean, this is what you're doing.
Excuse me, Chairman. I can't hear what's being said right now about the issue of proprietary information and who is just speaking. Is our county attorney there?
I am present.
So actually, that was a valid point. I did not realize it being shared on YouTube, but this is the detail and the data and these very specifics of your spend, of the county spend. And I from where I would be looking if I was spending my money, I would maybe not want that to be broadcast to other competitors for much the same reason that I mentioned. Other people don't want to send or share benchmarks. You'd be in effect, be sharing everything right here.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to move it into executive session to speak about this proprietary information.
Just under contracts or?
Mr. Attorney, is that we can do that?
That would be a valid motion for executive session.
All right. Do you want to do it right now, or do you want to wait till the end of the meeting, or whatever
Oh,
you?
no, right now, because
Okay.
we're going into sensitive information.
I have a second. Dennis, are you second it?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're in executive session, so everybody else has to please leave for a little while.